And good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Brendan Cunningham, the real estate doctor here at EXP. With me, Matt Paul. Does it all. We can do it all for you. You're looking to buy or sell, you're looking to join our team, reach out to us. But in the meantime, last week, you remember our heroes? We were talking about some of the things that agents look for when they choose to get into the business or affiliate with a broker. All brokers, are not built the same. And some of the things we talked about had to do with other ways that you can make money with us that you might not be able to do with somebody else. We talked just leading into revenue share.
Yeah, rev share. Yep.
Want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So revenue share is a way that if you have an agent that wants to work with you and that you sponsor them, you get a small piece of what they, their commissions that doesn't come out of the agent's pocket.
Doesn't come out of their pocket. Remember that. That's a big piece of the puzzle because normally we pay referral fees all the time, but they come out of your pocket. Okay. Yep. But in this case, out of the broker's end.
EXP, yep. And I remember being at the show with you and last October, and the CEO said, ask a broker who's going to be willing to split 50% of the revenue back with their agents at the end of the year, which that's what EXP does. Yeah. So that's how they're able to do it.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. And one of the reasons why that's a beautiful thing is because let's say you have a month where, I don't know, you didn't ring the bell. You didn't have any sales that month, or you didn't have a check, you didn't have any closings. That happens.
Around here, we had a big snowstorm, and you couldn't get around.
Okay, but you'd still have your revenue share checks coming in every month, and that's, it's almost like you could use it as a forced retirement program, but we're the only ones that really have a program that's like that.
Yep. Yeah. And it's a peace of mind.
Oh, it's just paradigm shifting. It really is. Mm-hmm. The other thing that we sort of talk about is sometimes people need a space to call their own, like an office. Okay. For years we joked and we said, "This is my office."
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep. Right there. Right here.
Yeah. Or there. And to great extent that's true. But sometimes you need a place to sit. Yep. As I've told people before, all of this is all designed to get us
face
to this.
Yep.
Okay. Because that's how communication really works. And so we use the technology to get this, but sometimes we actually physically need a space. The problem is, what if you're on that side of town and you need to get back to your space on this side of town? Well, we're fortunate because at EXP, we have offices all over the world, 26 different countries, all 50 states. If I'm in Rome, Italy, I have an office there through Regus or Spaces, and it's a beautiful office. This office here is 38,000 square feet in beautiful downtown Buffalo. They're looking to build 15 more buildings like this. But you know what? It doesn't cost us anything because it's just part of the deal. Mm-hmm. Okay?
You come and go, and then you can collaborate when you're there. That's another.
And collaboration is a huge part of this culture. And a lot of people sort of say that, but it just isn't true. It really is the hallmark of, without getting crazy. Christianity, the one hallmark of Christianity is love. Mm-hmm. Okay, mm-hmm. Just do that, you got it all pretty much covered.
Yep.
But yeah, so
at EXP, it's collaboration.
It's
for sure.
Collaboration is just amazing. If he sells something, even if he's not on my team, if he's in Dallas and he's not on that person helped me because my stock goes up.
Yeah,
it's a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to talk about. Yes. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I bought my first house. I'm going to admit to this. It's not like I'm hiding it, but it's not something that would be top of mind to tell people. Mm-hmm. I borrowed money from my mama to buy my first house. And you know what? Today, 49% of the population is doing the same thing. They're borrowing money from their folks.
Yeah.
Hey, you do what you need to do. Now,
Absolutely.
When I bought 45 years ago, I was dealing with double-digit inflation, interest rates that went as high as 21, where I was. Luckily, I got it cheap at 14.5. But I was also dealing with inflation, and we're talking about serious inflation back in the 70s and 80s. Literally, it cost Carter the election.
Wow.
And so we had those issues, but now we have different issues. And guess what? People are still going to borrow money from their folks.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And I paid my mother back in 2 years with interest. I made money on the house, even at 14.5%. I did real well. But there's a million reasons to not do something, and sometimes, well, I just don't have the money. Well, to find the money.
Yes.
Find the money.
Yeah.
You know, and this is where it's not a time to be proud. Oh, I would never. Shut up. You do what you need to do, and your parents are, in many cases, are more than willing to help you out if they can.
Yes.
If they can.
Yep.
If they can't, they can't.
Yep.
What's aggravated our particular market in general, and I mean nationally, is the cash transactions.
Yes.
There are more cash transactions today than ever, and part of that has fueled something where the kids will say to the folks, listen, why don't you refinance your house, give me the money, I'll go out and I'll pay cash for a house, and then I'll take a mortgage out of it once I've owned it because I'm in a more competitive position to buy it, and I'll pay you back. Seeing a lot of that.
Yes, for sure.
More than we ever seen. So that's the thing. Now, you may not have parents that are in a position to do that. So in which case, you got to do other things.
There's always other options.
There's always other options. And you know what? The house, my first house was a wreck. It was an absolute wreck. I had to put $30,000 into it just to make it habitable. But I did what I needed to do. And I think part of the aggravation with first-time buyers today is they just expect the house to be perfect.
Yeah. HGTV perfect.
Yeah,
it doesn't exist.
Yeah, and that's that social media thing, which is not a good thing.
Yeah,
probably not going to be perfect. Your first house is never probably going to be the dream house. Dream house is maybe 3 or 4 down the road a little bit. And you're going to trade.
Once you actually know what you want, too.
Once you know what you want,
it's tough to know the first.
And it's hard to know. It's hard to know, but you got to get out of the rent trap first. That's the big piece of the puzzle, I think.
Yes, and and as we mentioned in the past, you know, the longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to become. So you can't control the economic conditions, the interest rates, or anything else. When you're ready, you pull the trigger. Because,
wait till next year, you'll pay more.
Yeah, that's
pretty much what it is. And that's just about anywhere. Even in the markets where they're going down, you're probably going to pay more next year. Now, are the markets going down?
Yes, and that's a lot of markets.
Surprisingly, not this market in Buffalo, New York, as we mentioned. It's the hottest market and the most stable market.
Yeah.
But yeah, I posted something for our teammates, and it was a statistical map of the states that are going up in price and the states that are going down in price. And I wish they had not used blue to make the distinction.
Yeah.
Because like 60% of the map was blue, but not politically blue. They used two colors, blue and white. Okay.
Yes.
The blue, like you'd have California, which is politically blue. Those prices are going down. But they also had Florida, which is not blue politically, but that one's going down.
Same with Texas. Yep.
Texas going down. New York, it's royal blue because of New York City, but in this particular case, it was white, and that showed that the prices are going up. The top third of the country was going up, pretty much from Chicago over to the New York State line, right on Massachusetts. Price is not so good, and that's a blue state politically as well as on this map. Yeah, so that was I thought was fascinating.
Yeah, I did too.
And
very.
You know, and one of the things I've alluded to is I've done meetings where I'll say, well, where do you want to live? The answer to the question is live where you need to be, where you want to be. You can be anywhere. As long as you can afford to be there, you buy it.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people are talking about going to Florida. My wife wants to go to Florida. I've lived in Florida. I like Florida, but I don't know if I want to be there all year round. I think she'd like to be there. I want to be where my family is. You know, my family is here. I have lots of family in New York City, but my kids and grandkids are here. So that's why I want to stay here. And fortunately for me, I like it here.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't like it. It's actually it's a great place to live.
Yep. And it's relatively stable, you know, as we mentioned. And
it's stable. Yeah, you know, with inflation and recessions, you don't seem to have that here. Okay. Now we have had appreciation in the last couple of years, which is
more than we've ever seen. At least in my lifetime.
In our lifetime, typically you could bank on 3% appreciation year after year after year, which is not huge. I mean, people, you know, then no one really cared about 3%, but it's nice because you don't have to worry about the booms and the busts.
Yes.
You were in Santa Fe?
Yep. I bought my first house, Santa Fe, in 2006.
Did you have a bust there at some point?
Yeah. So, in 2008,
I don't mean to laugh.
The floor fell out, and the house was worth about $60,000 less than what I paid for it 2 years prior.
So that's kind of a fluky thing, and it can happen. But
But when I moved here from there at that point in 2008, and the market here was stable, and the prices were, you know, steady. They weren't dropping. You didn't see a bunch of foreclosures and short sales like you did out west. So
yeah, and when we talk to people here, one of the things that we see is typically, you know, people look at social media and they think that all the things that are going on in DC or Chicago is here. It's not. No. This is, every market is local.
Yeah.
And the
micro markets.
They're micro markets.
Yep.
And Buffalo's probably, it should almost be one of those markets that people study in all business courses, because it's nothing but micro markets.
Yeah. Yeah.
10 minutes in any direction, it's a different market.
Yep.
North Buffalo, different from South Buffalo.
Absolutely.
It's the same city.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. They're still strong.
They're still very strong.
Yeah,
right?
Still doing very good.
North Buffalo's kind of priced out at this point. Go South Buffalo, and that's what happened. But prices are going to still continue to go up.
Absolutely.
And the prices
We're
today
seeing it.
probably seem insane if you were to be using the same reality that was 10 years old.
Oh, yep, absolutely. Yep.
I saw a little ranch get sold. I think it was under 1,000 square feet. And you get the prices here. If you're in California, you won't be able to understand this. It's over 2.25. Okay, an insane price 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, for less than 1,000 square feet.
Oh
it's
God,
over 250
it would have been $70,000,
yeah.
if that.
Yeah.
If that, probably.
Yep.
But that's what it is, and if you want to get in, that's what it is.
Yep.
And you pay the price. Well, I'm not going to pay that because that's too much. Well, guess what? Somebody else will pay it.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that.
Yep.
Just because you don't want to do it doesn't make any difference. Somebody else is going to want it.
It doesn't mean that it's not worth it.
And it doesn't mean it's not worth it, because that's the market that's been set.
Yes.
And well, how much farther can it go? It can just keep going. It really can. And the proof of that is look at any of the major cities, and that, well, this isn't a major city. Yeah, I know. So it's not gonna go up quite as fast, but it's still gonna go up.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just this life. Now, will you have a blip? Sometimes it goes down. Yeah, but the general trend is always gonna be up.
Yep.
Always gonna be up. More fortunes were made after the stock market crash in '29 for people that had the money to buy.
Yep.
That's when you buy. You buy big.
Yep.
And unfortunately, my mother's family, they owned 3 little houses. And this is a great immigrant story. My grandfather came from some little town in outside of Naples, and he was able to accumulate 3 houses. And unfortunately, back then, you know, when the crash hit, he couldn't make the mortgage payments. He lost them all. So but that was weird. Yeah. But
yeah, we don't see anything with how much the lack of inventory that we have, the buyer demand. There's no indicators that we're going to be, you know, going down anytime soon.
No. And we still have the supply and demand thing. And Buffalo has got something else going on, and we're going to start talking about that in subsequent shows. Just about things that are cool here.
Yeah.
Okay. They may not have directly to do with buying and selling real estate, but reasons why people want to be here, because it's cool.
Yeah.
It's not just the waterfront, which is cool. It's not just the botanical gardens, which is cool. Yeah. It's not just the Frederick Law Olmsted Park system, where we have 5 Frederick Law Olmsted parks in this city.
Yeah. How about Frank Lloyd Wright homes?
We got 2 of them.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about the Darwin Martin, but I like the other one.
Yeah, the Roycroft.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then how about this? The loft, the space that we're in right here. This is brand new to Buffalo. Yes. Well, not brand new, probably about 10 years old. Yeah. But you know, as you mentioned, in New York City, lofts were very popular.
I was doing them 40 years ago.
Yeah. So now we have that style here as well in the commercial space.
Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about some other things we talked about a couple of weeks ago, too. We talked about home inspections and things you should do, things you should not do.
Yep.
Let's talk about some of the things you don't want to do with respect to home inspections.
Oh, let's see. So, let's.
I'll give you one.
Yeah, let's.
Don't pick an inspector who's willing to do the repairs himself.
Oh.
I don't know. It seems obvious, but you know what? That's kind of an oxy. You left. You need a new roof.
Hey, I don't know why this inspector is busy all the time fixing stuff.
Yeah, not good.
No.
Don't pick an inspector based on price.
No. Nope.
Buy cheap, you get cheap.
Yep. Yep. Do your research. Reviews are great.
Yeah. Don't pick an inspector that doesn't have errors and omissions insurance.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
you're gonna start asking that.
You know what? No one ever asks that.
No.
And here's the problem with the errors and omissions insurance. You got to ask the second question. What does that mean? what does it cover?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people
Negligence.
well, no, but it will only cover up to the cost of the inspection.
Sure. So if he breaks your furnace and it's
well, if you have a furnace that it was absolutely fried and he didn't catch it for some strange, or she didn't catch it for some strange reason, hey, that's what we paid you for. Well, it's going to be $5,000 for your boiler, but it was only $500 for the inspection. I'm going to give you $500. Well,
yeah,
that's not the way it
You're
works.
still in a bad spot.
It's not good. So, to ask that question. Here's another question. And by the way, I'm taking these right out of my book.
They're great questions.
Well, yeah. Here's my favorite. Don't panic when you see the report.
Yeah.
And I always say, listen, if you're going to have a home inspector, make sure you're there for the home inspector. So, because he's going to give you like a mini course on what's going on in your house. He's going to tell you all the deferred maintenance that you should be looking to do in the next 5 years. But if you just read the report, every report that I've ever seen essentially says at the end, tear this house down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because they have to find nuances like the switch plate was crooked. And is that a reason not to buy the house? Does that mean you got to replace the whole electrical system?
No.
But when you read it and you didn't actually see it or hear the conversation, it sounds like the end of the world.
It really can.
And they got to give you a big book to justify their fee anyway.
Yeah.
So you know,
lots of pictures.
Radon. Should they do radon?
So what I always suggest is to my clients, with the inspector there, have you found high levels of radon in this area? And I do know, I'm from Clarence, which was,
you got it up there.
Yeah, because there's an escarpment and your house is on bedrock. Yeah, gypsum mine. Yep. So there was a lot of radon in the area that I grew up in. So I know where those areas are in my town, but if I'm, in an area that I'm not as familiar with, I'll ask the inspector, have you found any radon in the area? And if they say yes, I always suggest to get it done. And it's up to our clients, of course. But.
Sure. And the ultimate thing to remember is this, with respect to home inspections. Home inspections are not pass-fail.
No.
Okay. This is the house. You buy it with the warts or without the warts, or this is what it is. A radon inspection is pass-fail.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yep.
The magic number, 4 picocuries per million.
Yes. If you're over that.
Whatever picocurie is, I don't know. But 4. You can only have 4 per million. Canada, you can have 10.
Wow, did not know
they're
that.
They're very tough.
You know the only time you wouldn't want to get radon?
When?
If you're on a slab.
Oh.
Right? Okay. So if you don't have a basement, because the basement going into the bedrock is where it can emanate from. So if you're on a slab and it is still an area that could potentially have it, you don't need to, because you're not going into that bedrock.
Right. Don't use an inspector who can't do the job right away.
Oh, there you go. Well, timing is an issue.
Time is an issue. If you're trying to do an offer, actually, I think the best time to do the inspection is actually before you put the offer in.
Yes.
Because now it's not subject to that.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not a contingency of the deal.
But if you say to a seller, listen, I want to do an inspection, and well, fine, they're going to want you to do it right away. And if you say, well, I can't do it until 2 weeks because I want to use Sid Gluck, he's the best inspector in the world, and I only want to use him. If I was the homeowner, I'd say, use somebody else because I'm not waiting 2 weeks for you.
Because you're basically stalling the deal for 2 weeks, and then you have to get
I want
the
to
report.
Know. Think of it as pregnancy. Do you want to know if you're pregnant or not?
Yeah.
I want to know now. Okay, well, you could be in 2 weeks. I want to know now.
Yeah.
Okay? You just don't have that luxury of time. And this is one of my favorite. Don't be afraid to ask questions during the actual inspection. Again, if you're not going to be at the inspection, you're really hamstringing yourself.
Yeah, I don't know why you do that.
Why? It's a wonderful. First of all, the number one reason is so they can show you where the water main is.
Yeah, well, like you see, they can point out, look at this downspout. See how close it is to the foundation. Extend it a little bit
Sometimes
so the water's
simple repairs.
Yeah, but if they're there to explain it, you're going to save a lot more time fixing and rectifying that issue. Possibly money as well.
Here's another one. Don't be surprised when the inspector doesn't put holes in the walls. Like he wants to check how the wiring. No, they're not doing that. No. They can only inspect what they can see.
Have you ever had a client ask to pull down the wood paneling in the basement?
I have.
Same here.
They
will not touch that.
No, we're not going to do that.
Nope.
They're not ripping up carpets. They're not doing any of these things. No. And a lot of people ask them to do that. They're not allowed to. They're not supposed to do that.
Yep. It's defacing someone's property.
I'm not going to tell you that it doesn't happen, but it's not supposed to happen. It's not something that you should expect. Yep. And remember this. This is the biggest don't. Don't take the inspector's word as gospel. It's an opinion. That's all they can give. Now, they're giving you an opinion based on expertise.
Yes.
Okay? Which is why we will always defer to somebody else's expertise.
Yep.
We probably know a lot about roofs, but we're not roofers.
No.
Okay? You say, it looks good to me. I mean, but you know what? You might want to talk to your roofing inspector. You might want to talk to your home and see what they have to say.
Yeah.
But it's their opinion. They can be wrong. We can be wrong.
Yep.
Chances are one of us is going to get it right. But again, it's an opinion.
Yep. But
The
you want a
appraiser.
specialist for whatever.
The appraiser, he's just giving an opinion on value. Okay? So, but it's an opinion. Sometimes they get it wrong. But yeah, so take everything with a certain measure of salt. And sometimes you're just talking to the wrong expert. And ultimately, it's going to come down probably to your attorney.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's only got an opinion, or she's
Right.
got an opinion.
But we consult with our clients all the time. When you get the inspection report, we sit down and you go over it and you explain, when some things seem like the end of the world, that, you explain as to what it is, how to rectify it. And then most of the time it isn't.
Yeah. So interesting things happening in the real estate market, up, down, all around. Wrap up anything you got to say?
Yep. Please follow, like, subscribe. Let us know if you have any questions you want us to address. And thank you for tuning in as always.
And if you want to be on our team, reach out to us.
Yeah, please do. Take care. Thank you.